Hey guys, it's Hodgepodge here, and today we're going to be doing a review of the Carnegie Tanystropheus. Tanystropheus roughly means long-hinged, and it was not a dinosaur, but an archosauromorph reptile. It was 6 meters long. Most of that length was actually its neck, as you can see. It lived in Italy and China during the mid-Triassic period, 245 to 228 million years ago. Okay, so this figure's kinda tricky to review. First of all, because it's so long, and so it's quite difficult to get into the frame, as you can see. And two, because this figure is very old and outdated. This figure is from 1999, so it's the same age as me. But without further ado, let's just get on with it. Right, so the detail on this figure is The skin detail's fine. It doesn't really look like scales typically along the body. And if we go all the way along the neck, we get to the head, which, if my camera will focus, it's very tiny, so it's very hard to get the details just right. Come on. If I hold it back a bit, you can just barely make out. My camera does not want to focus, my apologies. Oh, there we go. You can just barely make out an eye surrounded by blue markings on the head, and the teeth you can just barely make out. It's very small. It's not super accurate either. It just doesn't look that good, if you ask me, which is kind of a shame because it's such an obscure species that you very rarely see in figure form. This is the only one that I know of, other than the Jurassic Park toy from years and years ago. But yeah, it is kind of a shame. You can, oh, there's a better view of the teeth. Yeah, you can just barely make out they've just kind of been stuck in there. Okay, so the paint job is pretty good. Granted, a lot of the parts are pretty fiddly, but on some parts, like the feet, it's a bit sloppy, but the overall colour scheme is fine. It's got a very pale green with very light yellow stripings, and then the underside is a very, very light brown with hints of yellow. Yeah, you can see it underneath. It says Carnegie 1999, Tanystropheus. The neck is also bendable, so you can get it into a ton of different positions if you so want. I never know which way to have mine. I believe we found that its neck wasn't actually that flexible, so while it's a cool feature, I don't know if it's that accurate, but I don't think that really matters. I prefer to have mine straight out, and so I can pretend that it's fairly accurate. So yeah, just keep in mind that if you do have this figure, yeah, you can do that with the figure, but in real life probably wouldn't have been able to do that. And the legs are also very inaccurate. They're sprawling out like a lizard's, but they should be positioned more beneath the body to support it upright. Now, we all know this creature from its appearance in Walking with Dinosaurs Sea Monsters, but that's what I'm guessing anyway. But if you've seen Trey the Explainer's video, which by the way you should watch and absolutely subscribe to Trey the Explainer because his videos are amazing, you'd know that this was probably not aquatic and probably could not drop its tail like a lizard, because again, it's not a lizard, it's an archosauromorph. So yeah, that's kind of inaccurate as well. What probably would have been the case is that it would have stood on shorelines using this long neck to reach out over the water, and then when small fish would swim by, wham, like that, catch them in its teeth. So yeah, it was probably a fish eater, but probably didn't live in the water itself, but lived very close to water. I remember there was a theory that this may have been kind of like a flying pterosaur sort of thing, which seems crazy, but when you look at some of the pterosaurs that were actually able to fly, I don't think it's really that crazy. I think that's all I have to say. So let's measure this guy. I'm not looking forward to this bit. In terms of the length, looking at about, oh my goodness, are you 30, you can barely even tell, 30 centimeters long, which is just about 12 inches exactly. I guess I can do the height. Just barely making an inch, which is 2.5 centimeters, if that. And in terms of the width, let's see, that's 7 centimeters, which is just under 3 inches, 2.5 inches. Actually, the back legs might be wider. Which case, okay, it's 3 inches with the back legs, which is, let's say that's about, oh, it's twisting. Yeah, let's say that's about 8 centimeters. Okay, so this figure, along with every other Carnegie figure, is retired. So if you'd like to buy this, I'd probably say head over to Everything Dinosaur while you can to get this guy. But like I said, it's very inaccurate. The detail in a lot of places isn't that great. The paint job is also kind of but it's good. Just nothing spectacular. It's kind of sloppy, but it could just be mine. So if you want to get this one, I'd say the choice is yours. Hopefully we get a more accurate one later down the line. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Tell me what you think about this figure in the comments, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.